I'm not sure what exactly I can say about Kyle Eade that, won't already be said or will be said by other people, but, just a tragic, death is always untimely, but especially when you're 23 years young. But he was a good dude. I didn't really know him much outside of wrestling and music talk, but I talked to him literally every day, just about random. And I've gone to message him multiple times and it still hasn't sunk in, but it's really left a hole in Australian professional wrestling. And all I can do is I don't want to sit here and, rattle on and try and make myself feel like I'm important, because I'm not, because his family and friends that actually knew the person behind him are mourning way more than a lot of us are. But just thinking of all of them, and Australian wrestling has a massive hole in it. And I can just encourage people to go to shows and make as much noise as you possibly can in honor of Kyle, and just make sure that his spirit lives on. And Kyle, mate, wherever you are, if you can hear this, I hope you've got a front row seat reserved. And, when my time comes, I'll catch you down the road, brother. Keep killing it as always.
Kyle was someone who is everything that we look for in our industry when performing. He was passionate, he was loud, he was supportive, whether he was cheering you on 1 minute and booing you the next, or, messaging you with messages of support, telling you to, keep killing it, man. Honestly, my sincerest condolences go out to anyone who's affected by his passing. It is a huge loss for our industry, and you can see with the, outgoing support from so many different wrestlers from so many different states, countries even. Thank you, Kyle, for your support, not just for me, but for everyone in our industry. Rest in peace, brother.
I met Kyle back in February when we worked Pandemonium. Daisy and I did meet and greets, and he told us he was from Sydney, so to me, he was our very first interstate fan. I posted Q's and A's of where our fans wanted to see us next, and he was the first person to message me. I got a swarm of messages from him saying which Sydney promotion he wanted us to work at. And to me, that was very cool, starting out in this business, and he already wanted us at Sydney. That was just amazing. Kyle was also a very, very talented musician. If you haven't seen his videos, please go check them out. He was taken from us very, very early, and it's so unfortunate that this happened. And my condolences go to his friends and family. And Kyle, rest easy, brother.
You never know what you're gonna say in these videos, but all I can say is thank you, Kyle. You definitely were the epitome of passion when it came to a professional wrestling fan. You came to shows, you cheered, you booed, you recorded clips, you put it up on social media, but most of all, you allowed each and every one of us entertainers to live our dreams, because if it wasn't for the fans, we wouldn't be able to. We're going to miss you, buddy, and thank you for everything that you did. You're a fundamental part of our business, and you're gone way too soon. Rest in peace, my friend.
As you can see, Kyle touched a lot of people, and look, I didn't know him personally. I met him once, again, like the voice of B Squared at Pandemonium 2.0, and he was really nice to me. He has been one of my biggest supporters here on What If It's Cool. He has always given me good advice, given me good feedback, and I'm going to miss him. Honestly, he was just such an amazing kid, and was just taken way too early, and my thoughts and prayers go out to his family at this time. And if you have the means to, in the link description, there is a GoFundMe page for his family. If you can, please support that. And on behalf of What If It's Cool, I would like to dedicate this episode in the memory of Kyle. Hello and welcome to another episode of Whatever's Cool, the show where we talk about anything and everything that is cool in the world today. I am the Blue Grenadier, known as Daniel Paul Pro, and on this episode, I have a sit-down interview with the Cudas. We talk about how they got into the world of professional wrestling, the events that led them to be in the tag team, and a Twitter account called Wrestlers with Hats. So sit back, relax, and enjoy No Sleep Till with the Cudas. Boys, thank you so much for being part of the show. I know you guys are very busy, and we have rescheduled this a couple of times, so I do appreciate you taking the time out. I want to firstly ask, where does the name the Cudas come from?
The Barracudas. It's basically just Barracuda shortened down. I don't really know why we started using it. It just became sort of like a joke. We were thrown together at the Horsham show for a one-off match, and we needed a tag name. We were like, "Yep, Barracudas," because the fish is cool, I guess. And it just sort of stuck, and we've shortened it down to the Cudas and ran with that.
Okay, because every time I see it, I just like, it's a cool name. I don't know why. I don't, like it sounds silly, but at the same time, it's like, it's cool.
Yeah, it's snappy. It's good.
But why do you find the Barracuda cool? Like, surely there's. I think I saw fish more coolest.
They're one of the most ferocious fish in the ocean, and they travel in a pack like we do. And I mean, I just think that I grew up always wanting to be a marine biologist. I'm not smart enough to do that, but I've always loved the ocean and aquatic animals and stuff. And I don't know, I find them cool. And yeah, not much to it aside from that. I don't think the name like the Sharks runs off the tongue as much as the Cudas.
Yeah, I don't know, Sharks or maybe the Flakes or something like that. But then again, if you called yourself the Flakes, yeah, I don't think that would have worked really well. Oh Jesus, I'm just thinking of the really bad merchandise with the name the Flakes.
Sounds like a really bad band name.
Yeah, it might. Wait, any of you guys play instruments?
No. Oh, I wish.
Damn.
I've tried. I can sort of somewhat around on a harmonica, but I'm not very good. I've tried to play everything. Growing up at school, I played the bass, couldn't play it. Tried to play guitar. I'm just not skilled enough.
Have you? Oh no, I'm not going to start getting with people at the moment. When I first saw you guys together, I've seen you guys separately on YouTube and through MXW. The first time I actually got to see you properly live was at APW's house party, and immediately you guys captivated me because you got one of the best theme songs out there in Australian wrestling, "No Sleep Till Brooklyn."
Yeah. It's taken off too. Since we started using that song, it's appeared in the Mario movie and in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 now. So like we're the trendsetters. But it's definitely a big hype song. Every time it hits, it just fires me up. Hit the curtain and it's just go time. It's a great song.
Why did you guys decide to use that? Because like for me now, I'm just like No Sleep Till the Cudas. That's when it comes into my head whenever I see it now.
I don't know if I have it. I thought I had it behind me, but I've actually got the Beastie Boys album on vinyl. I love the Beastie Boys.
License to Ill. So yep, good. I know my music. Come on, guys.
Yeah, and I don't even know why we started using it, because initially we were going to use Barracuda, because the name, and I think it was like just on a car trip back from Horsham, me and one of the other boys it came on and we're like, this is a good theme song, so we went with that.
I don't think that could work with you guys coming out with Barracuda. I don't know.
No, I can't picture it now.
Too long of an intro and it's on the nose.
Yeah.
Like,
it's too slow for us.
Like,
to come out with all that
Barracuda! I just seeing how you guys come out and everything. It's just, it could never work. Was there any alternative songs that you guys wanted to do, or even thought about getting someone to create a theme song for you guys?
I don't know. I think we did talk about "Shoot to Thrill" by AC/DC. And I think that was pretty much really the only serious contenders was that and No Sleep.
Mm.
Yeah. And then Shoot the Thrill just became like a meme for us now. You just
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like all you ever hear is Shoot the Thrill, and we just know it. It's just a little inside joke with us.
Fair enough. No, it's like even Shoot the Thrill. It doesn't work. Like
No, it's not
no,
as
no,
good.
no,
It's not as good.
no sleep or Brooklyn. It fits it. Like when Robbie, when you go and give JP a kiss, like I'm digging it. Like it just everything in that song and where you guys come out with the bucket hats and everything. It just fits and it's. I'll be honest. I listened to it probably 3 times before you started shooting today, and I'm watching the video clip, and if you guys haven't seen the video clip to the Beastie Boys' No Sleep in Brooklyn, it is a time capsule of the '80s and hip hop. But it just I couldn't stop but thinking of you guys' interests every time I'm listening to it. It's now like embedded in my head. But
Yeah.
you guys are bringing back the bucket hats.
Yeah.
Are you guys massive fans of I'm about to call him Jack Swagger, Jake Hager? And that's why you're bringing it back, and you like the hat? Or
I think I was wearing it before he was
yeah, you
actually.
were.
I think if you go through the records, I was wearing it for a while. No, I just got a bucket hat that I really like, and I ended up losing that one at we did an AOW show, and in my excitement of coming out, I tried to throw it at Ace, and it went like way past him, and someone just stole it. So I lost that bucket hat. But I got a few new ones. This is like the one that you've probably seen recently. This is my
Oh,
Tiger
that's cool.
King. Yeah. And recently in Mildura, I switched to this hat up here, which is like a zebra print, like not a bucket hat,
The macho vibes
but just a different
intensifies.
type of hat.
So you got Macho Man. I got porn star vibe on that one for some reason. I don't know.
It's definitely like it's more like a pimp hat. Like
Yeah.
You keep that kick band strong, like you just gotta keep that shit strong.
I was wearing bucket hats for like every single day for
Hmm.
ages, and I still do. Not at the moment, but yeah. So the bucket hat was just sort of more of a. I don't know. I was just wearing it anyway, so why not use it in the entrance?
Lloyd one, you're like, here, wear this. It would be cool if we both come out wearing bucket hats, and then it just stuck.
Yeah. Well,
I think there's a
they're
Twitter
good.
page too. I think there's a Twitter page about wrestlers wearing hats, and I don't know if we've made it on there. I don't think we're famous enough to make it on there yet, but that's the goal.
Hang on. Why is there a Twitter page for wrestlers wearing hats?
I don't know. I found out because Charlie Rose wore a bucket hat, and
Yeah.
she put a photo on Instagram, and I messaged her. I'm like, "How dare you take my gimmick? That's bucket hat's my thing." And she just said, "I'm just trying to make it onto the wrestlers wearing hats Twitter account." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, fair enough. I'll let it slide."
Even from when I started, I had a cat backwards. Like I had my Pikachu cat, and then now the bucket hat. I've seen that, and I wanted to get on that as well. It's like, man, please, just take a photo.
We want the Cuda bucket hats. That's what we're working towards.
Yeah.
The merch coming soon.
Yeah. No, definitely. I'd definitely buy that. I like the hat. So
Yeah.
definitely good. Now I wanted to sort of get to know because obviously you've said that you guys were thrown in together. What why was that? Was it because I'm still catching up on MXW. I gotta admit, I've heard MXW, seen you boys in action, and a few other people from MXW in action, but I've never actually checked out MXW. I've been going through the old Ascend episodes and even some of the old what the you call them now? Because you can't call them pay-per-views anymore. They're like premium live events or
Yeah, they were like I don't know what we called them. Like shed events, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I haven't even known Robbie for a year yet, I don't think. I think we're be coming up to a year. But when we met, it was like an instant connection. Like everyone who comes through MXW is just instantly like buddies with everyone. And there was supposed to be we did the Horsham Show event, and a lot of that was just like exhibition style matches, just like, random people wrestling whoever. And one of those matches was myself, Robbie, and Frankie Grime. And then we had Jimmy Burton, the new general manager of MXW, as our manager, and it just sort of became a thing. We're like, yeah, the Cudas, and then I wrestled Will earlier this year in January, unified the MXW Undisputed Championship and the Commonwealth Championship to form the Ascend title, which Will won. And then, it was sort of like Robbie was missed out on an opportunity, the world title. We were both sort of just sitting there with no real direction to go, and we thought, we may as well. We'd talked about it for a long time up until that point. We would always talk in the group chat, like, the Cudas is going to happen one day, and the opportunity to present itself, and yeah, we've just ran with it since then.
All right. You haven't heard much of Robbie, so we'll get to
Yeah,
Robbie.
yeah, sorry, Robbie. Sorry, this is like our promos.
Wow! Yeah.
Sorry, but talk me through, Robbie. How did you actually get into wrestling? And I've seen some of your matches to the MXW stuff I've seen. You have, and I'm going to be very biased on this. You have the best uppercut I've ever seen.
Well, thank you. Let's see what I started training. Oh man, this is going to say how old I am. It's about 5 years ago. It was in Geelong with Danny Psycho. So that was with Will, Edward Dusk, Scotty Roach, Jake Taylor, like that class. At the
PCW Geelong Academy, was that the one? Yeah.
So like I met all them through there, trained with them, and then I had my second child, so I sort of stopped for a bit. So I never really trained anymore or went there until it would have been just before COVID. I started training at George's, and yeah, COVID hit, so it stopped again. Starting and stopping, and then until pretty much was it the December last year at the APW show. I had the match against Tom Barrett. That was technically my debut onto the more on the actual scene sort of thing. Besides MXW, that was my first time on a show. Besides being a manager, I don't really count being a manager.
Wow.
Can I just add on? You mentioned his uppercut being one of the best he's seen. This man has got the deadliest senton in Australian wrestling right now, and I'll stand by that because I've taken it. And my God, he just sends it, and I haven't pooped myself in the ring yet, but that's the closest I've come was a Robbie Parker senton.
It's the shit. Everyone's they call me the plunger because I'm letting it loose.
Look, it is an amazing move. It's just that when I was watching the house party match with you guys last night, and that was the one move that I just gone hell. It's one of only a handful of moves that executed correctly I am terrified of. And so you're now belong in the category that Lil DZ's in of moves that I don't ever want to take. His Snapdragon is another one where I'm going hell. I will never, if I ever decide to step in a ring, which is never going to happen. And for my nephew who keeps asking, I'm not getting in the ring, okay? But that is a move that I do not want to take. No, don't even. Yeah. No, it's not. Never mind. I'm 36. I've got back problems. I've got emotional damage. No, I'm not. I don't want to get in the ring. I will be an interviewer. I could be an announcer. I could be a commentator, but I will never get in the ring. But your uppercut is terrifying.
Oh, thank you. I just can see what you mean by the LDG's Snapdragons, especially House Party when he gave to Rachel and Skylar Cruz. Yeah. They were that scared the crap out of me.
Oh, when I was doing the editing for the podcast of that one, I did share a screenshot of Skylar's face where she went like that.
He dished those out of that diet.
Oh, that was scary.
He just kept doing it. Yeah, they're nasty.
Did you if you saw Battle to Survive, he did it again, and I'm like, oh my God, no! Stop! I can't watch.
He did it again in Mildura too.
I haven't.
MXW.
I
Footage is still
sadly could
coming
not
out
go.
on that, so yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It's a big drive, 6 hours. So
Yeah. When eventually I have Ace on here to talk about the story of MXW, I'm gonna have a real good go at him for holding these shows so far away that I either have to drive all night or I have to take the hotel because like
yeah,
I really
you know
want to go
what
see
though,
it.
like I live in Mildura, so like
Mm.
I'm the one who's always having to drive 6 hours, and we're 6 hours away from like everything. We never get anything down here, so it is really cool to get wrestling events into these rural towns, places like Ballarat, Mildura, Horsham that just don't have much going on. There's so much wrestling in Melbourne, which is great, but you have all these rural towns that miss out. So I think it's really cool that MXW do it. And
I
obviously
had no
we
idea about that. Now I don't. Now I actually feel bad that I don't want to go because like
Yeah, no, it's. I think we've got events planned up in towards Melbourne a bit closer. Like Ballarat's not too far, and we've got Geelong later this year. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, but I did.
mate, by
Um,
the time this episode comes out, it's probably already announced.
it'll
So
be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, we just
well,
like announced Warrnambool the other night, as well in August. So
yeah,
all these towns
that
who,
one I might be able to go to because I think
yeah,
I think I have time off around that time, so I think I should be able to
yeah,
go.
that'll be good. But yeah, it's good that wrestling is branching out. A lot of these people, like in Mildura, had never seen professional wrestling until the other night, and everyone loves it. So it's really cool to do it to these rural towns that don't get a lot of events happening. There's not much going around town, so something different.
Well, how did you get into wrestling yourself? And one thing, obviously, I gave props to Robbie, and I'm going to give props to you. Seeing some of the footage that I've seen of MXW and of Wrestle House, you're one of the craziest son of bitches that are in wrestling. Period. What the
Yeah.
what the some of the things you've done, I'm just
Well,
like, holy shit.
What do you think
yeah,
I
I've
got
done
you?
some crazy stuff. Hey,
So
what
what do
was
you think
that,
I got you
Robbie?
as a tag partner? You take all the dumb bumps.
Yeah. So I started in backyard wrestling, and it's I like you get a bit of heat for that, but it is what it is. Yeah, I started wrestling like 5 years ago. And like I said, in Mildura, there's like we're close to Adelaide, which is 4 hours still away. I went and did an RCW tryout in 2016, I want to say.
Mhm.
But at that time, I didn't have my license, and there's no bus to Adelaide, so it was pretty impossible for me to continue that route. So there was just a guy here, Alex McCaskill, bought a ring in Mildura, and we started wrestling here. And then we eventually linked up with AC up in Horsham. They were wrestling on mattresses when I first met them.
Wow.
And they've eventually bought the ring, and it's just grown and grown and grown. And we've gotten, oh, if you go and watch early days MXW or early days Wrestle House, it's bad. It's really bad because we didn't know what we were doing.
It's hang on,
But credit to,
hang on. It's not it. Anytime someone says to me that backyard wrestling in early days stuff, it's like you have to appreciate your early days. Like
yeah, for sure.
I get it because like there is flaws in everything, and I have seen some of that footage, but the fucking heart that's in it is absolutely amazing. Like I mean, I could sit there and pick apart a match, but that's not what I do here on What If It's Cool. I
Yeah.
use this time to elevate. But I look at the positives of everything, and I'm just like, although okay, there's a little bit of piece here that just not quite working yet, but I know he's in the future he's going to be better. But I just sit there and enjoy the spectacle, and I love the fact that you give it your all, and I think that's what
Yeah.
we miss every time we look back at all this stuff, or we're seeing someone debuting. They actually are giving their heart. I mean, because you can easily see the people who are phoning it in, and you can see the ones who are tryhards, but can't really get the end of them, and then you got the people who are actually putting the hard work to actually go. And
Yeah.
honestly, seeing both you boys coming up and everything, I look at the positives, and that's why I thought you were incredibly cool, and that's why I wanted you on the show today.
Yeah, I mean, some of the greatest wrestlers in Australia at the moment started in a backyard. It's how a lot of people get started. I won't name names because I don't want to out them for it, but I'm a big fan of backyard wrestling. I think it's pretty cool. I get why some people don't like it because can be dangerous. We've been pretty fortunate to avoid anyone having any serious injuries the entire time we've been doing it, though. And since then we get training regularly, and that's a credit to a lot of the guys who are still around. We had some guys drop off, obviously over the years, but like guys like Evio, Ashak, Frankie, they've all stayed with it and gone and gotten this training, and like train pretty consistently, put in the work, and are now a lot better. But yeah, if you go and watch a lot of our old stuff compared to what we do now, you can see the progression we've made, and like simple things of like working to your left and everything like that. That we've learned since then has really helped us improve our craft. And I feel like every time I wrestle, I get better. But I did learn a lot from doing the backyard stuff, and because you learn if you learn how to bump like shit, and then when you actually learn how to bump properly, you're like, oh, this is easy. So in regards to doing like crazy stuff and taking big bumps or whatever, it's just like you're just used to it by this point. Like wrestling in the yard, we just we don't do the yard stuff anymore. We're getting away from that, because we do want to all sort of fix our brand and sort of get rid of that stigma that we're like backyard wrestlers, because we don't want to be seen like that.
Because everyone I've had on the show has knocked about backyard wrestling. Why is it so taboo in the actual community? Like, I'm not understanding. I'm not really understanding the hatred towards it.
Most people we've dealt with, like pretty much everyone I've talked to in like passing, has not had a problem with it. There is a certain group that do have a problem with it, and I think it just comes down to safety. Safety for the other guys that you're in the ring with. Like if you're not doing stuff the correct way, if someone gets hurt or it might look bad, which I understand that. But like I said before, we've avoided serious injury. None of our guys have, to my knowledge, ever hurt anyone in the ring. And we have a lot of guys who have our backs now and who have stepped in the ring with us. Guys like Chris Law and Xavier Black, who have wrestled me and Robbie. I mean, Robbie's had more training than me, obviously, but they've stepped in the ring with us and they've been fine. They've had a great time doing it. So I think some of I get where some people come from when they don't like the backyard wrestling, but you've also got to remember, when we talk about backyard wrestling, it's not like we're wrestling on the ground. We've got a wrestling ring. We've been wrestling in a ring this whole time, well, most of the time anyway. But yeah, I understand the safety side of things. You don't want to hurt the guy you're in the ring with. You don't want to hurt yourself. I think that's mostly where the hatred towards backyard wrestling comes from.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm just it's always whenever I have somebody on here or talk to on the street and everything, it's always there's always like this really big heat about it. I'm like, didn't most of us wrestling fans try that sort of shit? Like I know I did. Like I will never forget doing a German suplex on my mate on a trampoline and then trying to do it on a bunch of boxes. I thought that was some of the funnest times of my life, to be honest.
When I was 5 years old, I broke my elbow doing an elbow drop off my coffee table onto my brother and just driving my elbow straight into the ground. But they say don't try it at home, but we're wrestling fans. We're going to. I will recommend to anyone looking to get into wrestling to definitely go and seek proper training, though, because it's been a big help.
Oh yeah.
Because it's hard to break habits that you make when you're not learning the proper techniques. So definitely go and get proper training. Don't follow what I've done.
Robbie, I want to ask something, because you did mention Danny Psycho was one of the people who trained with you, and he trained you, yeah?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. What was Danny like? Because obviously Danny's now retired. I think he's doing a tattoo business or something now. What was it like actually learning under him?
I mean, Danny, he was so chilled. He was, I mean, there was the days where he'd get, super serious, but going to training was probably the most fun I've ever had. There'd be, like, he's all about the flippy stuff. I'm a bigger dude. I can do some, but there's not a lot I can do. But he's like, all right, So we'll go run the ropes, do a backflip. What? No, no. I can't do that. No. It's like because he just lives that. Like you see like Danny Psycho matches from like early PCW and whatnot. He's crazy. The man has a few bolts loose. And it was like I was because when I heard like that he's doing training, and I was starting there with him, I was like, oh, like sick. Like the first time I ever watched him wrestle was in Geelong, and it was him against now Buddy Matthews, and that was like I lost my mind when I first watched that. And when I first meeting him, he gave me the a waiver, and it's like sign this so you know you don't die and I don't get in trouble. Oh, this is what I've lived up for. Yeah, I'm gonna die.
My god!
It's some fun times.
But who trained you after Danny? Was it did you go straight into to APW or did you go somewhere else?
So I went from Danny, and then like I said before, I had my second child, so I stopped for a while. And then I sort of had a little bit at George's with NAW and whatnot.
Yep.
And then just when COVID came back, when COVID ended, I started going to Relentless with JXC and whatnot. And that sort of helped me get my passion back to get wrestling. And then now lately it's just been APW and George's. It depends on who, on the day essentially.
Joel Bateman's another one who does regular seminars. Like pretty much every event we go to, we'll have a seminar. It's either Bateman or Jason Crash or someone, and before the show, will just give us a 2-hour training session.
It was like the Ballarat one we had Bateman and Michael Weaver.
Michael Weaver was a good one.
Yeah.
Tom Barrett's another one who helps us out if we go to George Julio's.
Did either of you cop a chop from Weaver?
Forearm.
Forearm.
Oh!
He's got a good forearm.
Yeah. We were like, we'll do it. He was, we had two lines. One side was Weaver, one side was Bateman, and it was, take one, give one, take one, give one. And it's like, all right, now swap. And everyone gets to Weaver.
So when we did this, we had the two lines, right? And Michael Weaver does his first one. I can't remember who he did the first one to, but Frankie Grime was in Michael Weaver's line. And as soon as he saw Weaver do that forearm, he switched to Bateman's line.
That's right.
And then they just swapped after it anyway. Bateman and Weaver just swapped. So he ended up copping one anyway, but he did not want to take that Weaver forearm.
Oh my god. I have had the pleasure of seeing Michael do a lot of his in-ring work, and I've said this when I had my Triple G grandfather Adam Crow that I would never want to take one of them because I think he has one of the stiffest, and I say stiff in a good way, not in a bad way.
Yeah,
chops in the business. I even think that he is a lot more tougher than what the WWE call him now, Gunther. Because I remember when I'm gonna call him by what I remember him. I remember I saw Walter at World Series Wrestling years ago, and I remember hearing that chop for the first time. I can't remember. I think he was fighting Slex or somebody, and as many of you guys know, I am partially deaf in my right ear. I actually heard it in the right ear. That's how loud it was.
Oh yeah.
Who else has a good one? When I did my RCW tryout, Matt Basso left his handprint on my chest for
I forgot about Matt. He's just as bad as well.
Yeah. You really question whether or not you want to do wrestling when Matt Basso chops you in your tryout.
Yeah.
You took it and you lived to tell the tale.
Yeah.
He's just got some kinks in it. Yeah. He's sort of glitching out.
I thought I was going to end up with that Kofi Kingston chest, with they sort of caved in, like.
Matt's one is definitely up there, but I will still say that Michael Weaver.
Yeah.
Ooh, because apparently he's got a bolt in his hand or something, or in his elbow or something. That really drives it. Apparently,
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well, wait,
No.
because I have Michael on in the future. Oh, just spoiled that. I just gave the game away on that one. But I will ask him, and because I don't know, I don't know the story. I don't know if he had it before or after he got into wrestling. But I want to, see what the, if it was before wrestling, like see what was actually worse, having it in there or having it without it. So because it could be beneficial, it may not be beneficial, but I want to know the story. That's for sure. Now, I can't have you guys on the show and not mention that obviously you guys have done training with Adrenaline Wrestling, and it's like the staple thing we do here at Waterford School. What's your best Jason Crash story?
You know what was a good one? You know what one I really liked? It's nothing like crazy, but he was just sort of teaching us about like checking and stuff. I can't remember what the move was in particular, but he was like, oh, if you want to be a dick, you can check your opponent. And then he used A Shack as a dummy. And
Okay.
do you remember this, Robbie? Do you remember what move it was? I can't remember what it was. But he basically just with both hands just slapped Ace Shack on the back as hard as he could. It was one of the loudest things I've ever heard in my life. And poor AC, every time at training, AC just seems to cop like the worst stuff. But that was a good one. I like that. That made me laugh watching Ace just get slapped on the back really hard by Crash.
I think it was. Oh no, yeah, wasn't it? It was the chop, like doing the chops, and you can make them sound how you have your hand. You can make the sound worse than what it feels like, sort of thing. And it's like they sound like this, bam, to Ace's back.
You know what it was? It was the kitchen sink. It was the knee to the midsection.
That's
and
right.
then he's done the knee to the midsection, slapped him on the back.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, it was the old double whammy.
oh my god!
I was
And
saying
he was also complaining once at a training session about wondering why he had a sore ass before forgetting the crash line he lands on the rope. He was complaining all day about having this bruise on his butt. He didn't know what it was from.
Yeah.
And his crash line where he hits the ropes.
I'd say my crash story would be GCW in Geelong, Gold Class Wrestling. So it was like the ring was set up and it was about lunchtime and he's in the ring rolling around and he's like, oh, I want to try out a new move. And he springboards off the ropes and he sort of, as he lands, he sort of like squats, so it's like a teabag.
Mm.
And we literally made the joke of you should call it like the springboard teabag.
Okay.
Because so he runs and he'll hit the middle rope and he'll turn around and he squats on top of someone. They're laying down, so it's literally copping a teabag. Ever play Call of Duty and they're teabagging someone, like they're crouching on someone, sort of thing. It's that. He's just doing it while springboarding.
You know what I like about training with him too is just when Miss Fortune just gives it to him. She's just like non-stop, just like picking on him all day. I feel bad for him sometimes.
Oh, when I had her on here, there was a bit of outtakes because there's stuff I couldn't put in. A lot of stuff I couldn't put in because I felt bad with the crash because I'm like. I don't know. I love Crash, but I can't put this on there because it might seem like I'm sitting there egging her on to give me more and more. It just seems like I hate Crash. I love the dude like no one other. And now hearing it that everything that she's saying is true.
Yeah.
Makes it so much better.
He cops it a bit, yeah.
And because I had B Squared on here as well. Does he actually say a lot? Cool bananas.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Yeah. No.
I don't know. I've never picked up on it.
No, he has. While we've gone from when we're doing training and whatnot, and it goes to all right. So has everyone done this before? Yeah. All right. Cool bananas. and then go straight into the next bit, and then into the next bit. And it's always like, oh, has everyone done this? Cool bananas. And it's always
I
like
think a lot of his lingo is like early 2000s, like, you know.
he's always like clicking. He's always clicking. He's like, all right, cool bananas, and then goes to the next bit. There's always a click.
Early 2000s dad. Cool bananas. Let's go. What was that other line that I said to Misfortune? No, I'm lost. Hang on. Because I said if he ever said it, I'll never have him on the show again. I'm now I'm complaining. I'm old, Jesus. But no, great guy, absolutely great guy.
Yeah. He's awesome.
I want to talk about the old shed days. And hang on, is the shed still part of MXW, or you guys are moving away from that now?
Yeah, it's still a part of it. It's the shed we more so use for us to just get in there with the boys and just like have a scrap, you know, and just like Horsham is a lot closer to Mildura than Melbourne is. It's 3 hours, so it's just good to just get in there with your mates sometimes and just sort of fuck around, practice moves and sequences, and yeah. So the shed still exists. It's just a lot smaller scale these days. Like we don't. I think when was the last time we went there was probably March.
In your
April.
Was it that was the in your shed?
In your shed, yeah.
In the shed, yeah.
Just before Ballarat.
Yeah, a lot of us are just really busy these days too. Like a lot of the guys are getting booked on APW. Like AC's flying up to Sydney. He's got a booking up there. We might be going up to Adelaide at some point. So
nice.
It's hard. Like you just get busy. And yeah, there's just a lot of booking dates. And then like Ace has the issue of does he want to put the ring back up just to tear it down in a month's time? And but he's basically doing that by himself. Up in Horsham, he's tearing the ring down and setting it back up by himself because was down there. So,
oh man, that's a really tough job to do. I mean, I've never set up a ring, but I've actually been lucky enough to see people to actually see people actually set it up, and I think this company that I went to, I think it was like 8 people actually putting it through, and it still took an hour to do because obviously you have to make sure everything is nice and safe. But doing it by yourself, Jesus Christ, Ace.
Sometimes you set it up, you set up the ring, you look at it, and someone will be like, "That's not right." You've got to take the whole thing apart. Or when we did the second Ballarat show, we had to pick the ring up and move it.
Yeah,
So
there was like
wait, what happened? Why did you guys have to pick it up and move it?
It just wasn't.
I would have left it. If it was me, I would have left it. But it wasn't centered, and you know, like people just wanted to look good, you know.
Way. So let's all everyone grab a corner on the count of 3, lift it up. So there was good like what 20, 25 of us or whatever like wrapped around it.
Yeah.
And we're all like everyone grabbed the corner, grabbed the post, and we're all just lifting up and then coming backwards. Like literally about 10, 20 centimeters, then put it down. Oh no, it's not right. Oh, we gotta do it again.
But sometimes one of the boards will be sticking up a little bit, so it's all right. Take the canvas, take the pads off, replace the boards. It can be annoying at times, but if there, you know, many hands make light work. If there's enough people around, it doesn't take very long. When we did this Mildura show last weekend, there was a band playing after the show, so we had to get the ring out pretty quickly, and I think we had that thing out there and within 30 minutes. We were pretty lucky though because the last match of the night was Hex versus Inmate 47 in a coffin match, and those boys just tore the ring apart. They took the ropes off. They were strangling each other with the ropes, hitting each other with the turnbuckles. I think there was a pile driver on the bare boards. Like the mats were gone. It was just on the boards, you know. Like so it made it a bit easier.
Wow. Who needs a gym when you can just move a ring? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. What I say is like, who needs to go work out when you can just do the ring? Like
that Ballarat show as well. That was we had to take that up like a flight of stairs, and it was in this tight corridor. We were basically having to lift the boards onto the roof next door and then angle them back down.
What
It
the
was a nightmare.
hell?
It was really hard. Yeah.
How small was the venue?
Oh, it was a huge venue. It was just yeah, we had to like take it up like a back alley like staircase, and it was really tight in that alleyway, and there was no room to really get the boards in. So they
Yeah.
had to go up the building next door and then lower them back down through the door. And then, of course, when you're going out, you got to go up the building again, then lower them back down the stairs. So
I'll say to Bam's credit though, that man was all he did was carry the boards by himself up the stairs, at the post too. I think once or twice.
yeah, this is the problem. I figured out the best way of doing it, so then I got stuck having to keep lifting the boards on top of the roof because it's just easier that way. So I think I ended up doing a good chunk of that.
Wow. God,
But you know, I'm the new guy, so you got to pay your dues. Like that's fair. You know, a lot of these guys have been putting together rings for like 15 years. So a lot of them are like, oh, I ain't fucking doing it anymore. It's your turn. So yeah.
please tell me that the cameras were rolling when you guys were doing it. I reckon that would be some good footage to see.
They might have been in Mildura. I don't know.
What?
I don't know if they were in Ballarat, but maybe in Mildura they might have been filming us taking it out.
Oh,
that was hard because of the people. There was like there was a bit more room to get it out. We didn't have to take it downstairs, but there was like a bunch of people just in the way because we're trying to everyone still wants to hang around to watch the band, so we just had to try to maneuver these 16-foot boards out this door in front of crowds of people. It was difficult.
What the band should have done, and I reckon this would have been absolutely excellent. They should have just performed in the ring.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Like, think about what? Hey, were they metal, rock, hip hop?
Yeah,
pop?
metal.
What a missed opportunity! Come on, how
Frankie
cool would that
Grime, one
be?
of our wrestlers, he's in the band, so
the brand new band.
Yeah.
Why did he not suggest to go do that? That would.
I don't know. I think maybe they were worried about because this was at a bar. We did this at a pub, so
yeah,
there was a lot of drunk people. So I think there was maybe concerns about some people climbing it or getting a bit too rowdy. Metal gigs, so people get rowdy and stuff can happen. We didn't want to get anyone hurt.
Nothing wrong with us metal dudes, my friend. We are.
Oh,
although we look scary, although we're scary, we're
the best.
Human beings.
The best, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
People get knocked down and you just pick them straight back up and push them over again. It's awesome.
Yeah, like we were at Knockfest and we were what was it, Trivium or whatever. The guys behind us literally just picking up people, chucking them on top of us.
Like, I kept having this one guy land on my head over and over.
Yeah,
he just kept going.
Our heads because people behind
us. It was the same guy. It was the same guy. He'd climb up and then he'd go over the barricade and he'd run back around, and the same guys would throw him back on top of our heads.
Boys, what is the future for the Cudas? What are we going to expect from you for the rest of 2023?
The MXW tag team titles would be the goal. We've come up short a couple of times, got unlucky.
Yeah, because of these.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Look, I was going to mention
there's a screen between us, but
you are brave wearing that shirt in this interview. I tell you.
Well, hang on.
Conflict Axiom.
But you guys have not sent me your merch yet. That. Otherwise, I would be wearing. So,
no.
But then the obvious thing is, I am a simp for Conflict Axiom, and I'm on their payroll. So I have to represent the home team here.
Yeah. No, I get it. Look. They're not the worst guys in the world. I'll give them that. But they do keep cheating to beat us. We beat them the first time in Ballarat. So James Marshall went into retirement just to get Chris Law in there because they knew they wouldn't beat us.
Speaking of James Marshall, make sure to use the hashtag James Marshall OnlyFans. Let's make it happen.
James Marshall's OnlyFans, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No one's paying to see that. It has to be free.
Oh my god!
Also, like I mentioned earlier, we're trying to see if we can maybe go to Adelaide. We might have something in the works there. for my own single stuff, like I do AOW, which is deathmatch bar shows. I've got a few dates lined up for that, so looking forward to that as well. And yeah, I think we got a few MXW shows booked for the rest of the year, so excited for that. And
Yeah.
I don't know, we're only halfway through the year, so we'll sort of see where it takes us. If anything comes up, we're very keen. We'd like to do APW again. We did the house party, and if the opportunity comes up again, I'm planning a move to in August up to Melbourne, so I think that'll all sort of open up a few more doors for us to get some more training in together, work on our tag team move set, and yeah, so excited for the future for sure. But we'll see where we go. See where the road takes us, I suppose.
Can't wait to see what's going to be happening with both of you, especially with AOW. I think that's a very underrated company, and I got to thank Harrison Cronero for that, because he was the one who got me onto them, and I've seen a bit of their footage. I haven't seen a lot of their footage, and I haven't been able to go to one of their shows, but I think they are definitely a company to check out.
Yeah, I know Devin, the guy who's running it, he does want AOW to be more like an experience rather than something you can, I don't think he's posted full matches anywhere, because he wants people to go to it and live in that moment, and watch it live, because it's a definitely a crazy experience, and those shows are awesome. Like I think I only missed one on the first tour, but I went to every other one, and there were some crazy shit.
I debuted on that at the Tote one in Melbourne, and that was by accident. There was a cancellation, and it was like, hey, you want to go? And I'm like, yep, sure, okay. So then they threw me in a 6-man with Will and one of Raw Beef, was Manu, against the Grey, and it was like then a powerbomb Mason through a door.
And that's another one that's doing these sort of rural shows, but he's also doing them in Melbourne. There is going to be an announcement soon, I imagine, with some dates planned. I think he wants to do it in sort of like a tour, so it's going to be like 3 or 4 tours a year, whatever it is. But it'll be like 6 dates at once, and it'll be like, this is going to be the shows in these locations, and it's going to it's really cool though. It's something different. No ring shows are crazy. It definitely hurts a lot more bumping on the ground than it does in a ring. But yeah, I think it's something different to watch, and also in a bar aesthetic, they've got like live music in between matches is another cool thing. Personally, I've always felt like heavy metal and deathmatch wrestling goes hand in hand. Like
100%.
And everyone seems to get really into it at the shows. It's a really cool environment, and I think it's going to be something that keeps on growing. I know they're doing it up in Perth as well with Dude Where's My Ring.
Yeah.
So it's something cool. It's something different in wrestling, which is always nice to see. I'm excited for those. Yeah.
The biggest word I want is you say like they play. You got like the heavy metal bands and shit in between the matches. I want someone just to play Barbie Girl instead. Like instead of like you got all these like mean, tough looking and then all of a sudden you'll hear is like, I'm a Barbie Girl. And I just want to see how they would react.
Oh my god! That would be a Cypher Soraz, I reckon. It's like, give it up for the deathmatch tournament. Up next, Barbie Girl. All right, boys, we've come to the staple question here. What if it's cool? What is something that you guys find cool that nobody else does?
Ooh, man, tough question. Put us on the spot like that.
That's something I might call the other third. The Street Fighter movie. I love that movie.
Wait. There are 3 different versions of that one. Which one in particular are you referring to?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Okay.
I love that movie. Like as a kid, and it came out, I loved it. Everyone's like, "That's really shit." I'm like, "I don't care. Don't ruin it. I don't get." Like, I don't tell you how to live your life. I fucking enjoy that movie.
We back at when this was a 4-piece, we did actually do it in a episode on this, but unfortunately we never released it. But I will still say that is one of my all-time favorite comfort movies. It's just a time capsule for me of how great and campy some films could be. I forgot. I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. The guy that played M. Bison, fucking that no one could ever top that performance.
Yeah,
so good.
Classic good bad movies like The Room and stuff like that. You know, there's movies that people it sort of gets like a little cult following.
Yeah. My favorite line, because like obviously it is JCVD playing Kyle. When he falls in, and then they go, Colonel Kyle, are you okay? And he goes, yeah, I'm okay. I'm like, that is the worst. That is the worst accent to do. Like, I thought you meant to be American, dude. Because like even at I think I was like 9 when I watched it. That's how fucking old I am. But being that young, even I thought, hang on, is the guy meant to be American? Like that's when the ice broke for me. Was when he did that one line. But I still watch it. I still like it.
I've got it on DVD. I feel you. It's the same thing I watch whenever I'm feeling like. That's my thing. I'll watch like shitty good movies. Like I'll watch the old Mortal Kombats.
Hey, that's a classic. That one.
I like the first one. Annihilation. Yeah.
Annihilation is not as bad as what people say. It's just that one line that still gets me and still makes me laugh every time it comes on. Mother, you're alive. Too bad you will die. Like, how could you take anything seriously in that film if she looks dead in the eye and it goes like that, and then her eyes go up like that? And... JP, what about you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, I love a good bad movie too. I think everyone does. I don't know if this is like, if no one finds this cool, but I know some people, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I love a good musical. I really like Hamilton, Wicked, Dear Evan Hansen. I just love musicals. I think they're great. Disney, big fan of Disney.
I would never picture you as a musical fan.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, I love them. I love them. I reckon I could sing every line in Hamilton.
Boys, I think when we see each other in person, we're gonna hang out. I think we might.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously bad movies.
You'll have to take the shirt off though.
Mate, just give me a Cudas shirt. That's all I want.
Yeah.
Or give me a Cudas hat. That'll be great too.
The bucket hat. Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon if we're gonna do bad musical, bad movie, Cannibal the Musical will probably be a good one for us to watch.
I'm down.
What?
Cannibal the Musical. You not heard of it?
No.
I haven't, but I'm here for it.
Okay. The boys from on South Park, Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Oh, yeah.
So they made this musical, I think, about a year before South Park came out. And then they made, after that, they made Orgasmo. Then they made...
Basketball.
What's the...
Basketball.
Basketball, yeah.
There's the Mormon one too. The Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
That was such a great musical. Like, they have to make a movie version of them of that and have them in it. I reckon that would be. I reckon that'll be easily $1 billion.
Those guys are great. Film. Even like some of the music on South Park is amazing. Like it's funny, but like one of my favorites is that when Tweak's singing about he does the performance about getting off your phone whilst being president. And Eric Cartman comes in with the rap about suicide.
Yes.
I think that's all time. Those guys are very talented.
The best song they've ever done. It's a shame they haven't made a sequel to Team America. America, yeah.
Oh yeah.
America, everyone has AIDS. Yeah, they're so good.
Absolutely fantastic. All right, we'll go with Robbie first. Robbie, where can we find you on all your socials, man?
Oh, mate. Who we got? Robbie _ Parker PW Insta. Actually, the same for Twitter as well. Actually, that's it. I've got a black page on Facebook, but I don't use it. I can't stand that shit. I barely use it. I barely use socials to begin with. It's just not my thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
JP?
I'm not on Twitter either. I mean, I don't have. You know what? I don't even really remember my Instagram handle. I think it's JP _ Bamford _
Hang on, let me get my phone and I will double check that.
Yeah, you find my Instagram.
JP _ Bamford _ PW.
That's it.
Yeah, it might be
yes.
that. It might be that. Yeah.
Yeah, JP _ Bamford _ PW. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I should get on Twitter, but
No, don't get on Twitter.
It seems very yeah.
Twitter is one of the like I don't even use the what it's called Twitter page as much as I used to. Like if someone says, oh, you know, send a link of your current episode, I'll do that. But I don't think I've even advertised on that for a very long time. It's just
people just seem to call us out on Twitter, and that's it. It seems like a very toxic place, Twitter, but I like Instagram. Instagram is probably the best way to get in contact with us, I would say.
Oh, that's how we got in contact. So yeah.
Well, that's it.
Or find my personal Facebook page or whatever. Like I don't really, I'll accept whoever. Put an asterisk against that. Maybe not everyone. But, I feel like we're both pretty approachable though. So if anyone wants to get in contact, have a chat.
All right. Well, boys, it's been a pleasure having you on. The Cudas, thank you so much for being part of Waterford School.
Thank you for having us.
And that's the end of that episode. Want to be featured on Waterford School or know someone who has an amazing story that needs to be told? Reach out to me. I can be reached on waterfordschoolbusiness@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. Want more from Waterford School? Make sure to check out the YouTube channel where you can find the latest episodes of Mukbanging Around, Reaction, and of course, the vodcast. And don't forget to follow Waterford School on all socials. It can be found at Waterford School. Keep that sport coming. And until next time, I'll catch you on next one. Peace.